Blessings, great people. This is your boy O'Dane, Oracle O, you know, the wise one, full of, I'm just always full of knowledge, full of wisdom, just like everyone else. I can never be smarter than you, and you can never be smarter than me because we're all made the same. Some of us can tap into certain parts of our brain, some of us cannot. And we're at this point right now where we see all these things going on, and we're trying to like figure out what's allowing these things to happen. The type of energies that are being built up and put together, because everything's based off of energy. Energy is all over. Energy is drawing. Energy is pulling. Some people want to get away from certain energies. Some people want to gain certain energies. Vampires, they only think about sucking blood, but it's more about energy or the succubus or something that's pulling out. So we got a lot of energy that's just going on around us. Lots of energy. A lot of planets in retrograde. A lot of different things that are occurring out in our lives. We're in the Zodiac sign of Cancer. Cancer is also related to your chest, and it's one of the number one killers of women in our world. That Cancer, where you see as breast cancer, is connected to the constellation of Cancer, because most of our illnesses and diseases are named after celestial bodies, and they're not too far or in some correlation related to that. Today happens to be Father's Day. Big up to all the fathers. Hope you continue to be great fathers if you are. I pray for the ones that aren't fathers like me yet, that we pray that, in the future that we become great fathers, because our duty and our obligation on this physical plane with a nice woman is to create champions. I want to talk about the zodiac signs. A lot of people kind of don't like it, or they're not into astrology. They think it's some kind of crazy shit, like something that you're not taught about. But the zodiac actually controls a lot of our world, a lot of the things that we deal with. The Farmer's Almanac is definitely all around the zodiac, and the reason why I'm talking about the zodiac and the issues that we got going on in our present time, like we just had Juneteenth. We had a lot of rituals going on the last few months. We've had celebrities pass away, like in crazy accidents, like the situation with Kobe Bryant and his daughter and those other people that were in the helicopter. Hope they, are looking down on us and trying to guide us to the places that we need. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all the people that I haven't named that have lost their lives, the people that lost their lives to COVID-19, and it's been a rough year. But you gotta really think about it. Every year is rough. There has not been a year that's been easy. We've said this, and we go back 10 years ago. We said that's in 2010, 2011 gonna be my year. Every year is our year. If you're able to survive and make it through, this far, and you're still able to breathe, you can speak, you can touch, you can taste, you can see, you gotta be grateful, because a lot of people don't have that ability to walk, to hear, to be able to, lay down in the night and be on a bed, to be able to have running water, to be able to use the restroom without, sitting next to someone. So, a lot of the little things that we do take for granted, we just gotta be more thankful for it, because it's just, you never know what can happen. You never know when it's your time or when is the closest person to you time. But back to the zodiac and the Cancer. The Cancer is the moon. Moon is the mother. Mother, we all came from our mother. If you didn't come from a woman, I'm not sure what you came from. Unless you're a hybrid or you are a one of these new type of drone things that are going on. But the moon is the mother, and in in angles is 90 degrees. It's also the star on top of the Christmas tree. It's oddly weird, but it's basically the moon. I'm outside, so y'all hear a lot of cars going past. The moon is the mother, and that's not where the zodiac starts from. The zodiac starts from the head, which is the Aries. Aries rules the head. I mean, Aries is fire, is birth, it's the baby, it's the new energy, it's the birth of Christ. That's why we celebrate Easter. I mean, when you're giving out good energy, the universe is always going to challenge you. You're going to hear sounds and things. But the Aries, you get Hades, you get, Aryan, all these things that mean first. Aries really just means first. The sign of the Aries is the ram. And, even if you turn the word rams around, you get Mars. Is ruled by Mars, the planet of the Mars, brain. Most Aryans, not all, most, depends on your aspects and different things. They like to usually suffer from like headaches, migraines, mental things, because they rule the head. The mouth and below the eyes is ruled by below the eyes. The mouth and the throat is ruled by the Taurus, Venus. So it's always come first, Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus is the beginning. That's Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is in multiple places in the zodiac. But the Taurus is one of the most worshipped signs because just in the duration of what Taurus means, the word Tor comes from Taurus. Anything you hear is like the TH or TOU or TAU, anything like a weather, anything that means moving. To take a tour, to go around. That's why we have Taurus fields. Below our, the below the eyes is called the torso. It's called the trunk. This is the trunk. This is where all of our vital organs are. In the chest area, and we carry everything there. Outside of your brain, and that skull protects. And the bones just keep it structured and solid, but the torso holds all your organs, your heart, all the good stuff that you need to survive. We get to the shoulder, the hands, the Gemini, and also the lungs, the air, the first air sign, and Gemini is the doer. Air signs are doing. That's why the hands, when they arrest you, they usually lock up your hands. I'm not sure if you ever heard of Castor and Pollux. Ancient mythology with these two, they were twins. It's really your left brain and right brain. They're the brotherhood or togetherness and fratus or fraternity or those things, they all come from Gemini, and that means basically your right brain and left brain coming together and making sense of what's going on. After you go from Gemini, you go to Cancer. Cancer is just all the words that you hear, like Aries, these are just Latin words. Latin words for Aries is a Latin word for ram. Taurus is the Latin word for bull. Gemini is the Latin word for twin. Cancer is the Latin word for crab. The crab. See, the Cancer holds you. The Cancer is a representation of the chest. They walk with their chest. I'm a Cancer. No, I got a lot of great Cancer friends, and they're amazing people. They're the rulers of emotions. They feel and they understand and they know when things are right or when things are wrong. They like to take the lead a lot. Actually, all the children of the sun like to take the lead a lot because they all want to shine. It's the first 6 signs. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And sorry I didn't give you Taurus. Yeah, I said Taurus was ruled by Venus. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury actually just went into retrograde. See, let me get myself together because it seemed like I went from Cancer back to Gemini. But in the sense of relativity, what's going on now, we have Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, but Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury gives us the word merch, like merchandise, commerce, messages. You know, Mercury is also thought. Mercury is Moses. Anyone that's a messenger, like we have instant messages that go real quick, is Mercury. So that's why even in the sense now we got like iMessage, or back in the day we had AOL. It was coming quick. That's Mercury. Then we get to Cancer, where we're at now, and to speak about Cancer, the mother, and the mother is opposite to the father. I'll get to a little bit later, talking about Capricorn. But the mother in Cancer represents family, represents physical, represents feeling. It's not earth, to be truly physical, but water in the sense of being a liquid, meaning able to cover, being able to pull in. When you put water around, and water literally just adapts to its area. If water can't get over something, it will go through it. And that's where that sense of the Cancer, and then also Cancers represent the house, because they walk with their house. It's the chest. So you also then get in the sense of your chest is like when they walk, you see them with their whole house. So this is our house. In the Bible, the Lord says that we were all given land, and we must cultivate that land. And that land is our body. So this is the land that we were given, and you must cultivate it. And you must respect your body. And sometimes our body gives us warnings and certain things that we don't take heed to, and in the long run we have to pay for it. Then you get to Leo, which is the heart, or you ever get the term, you have a heart of a lion, or I'm from Jamaica, so a lot of us are Rastafarian, and just like on the 23rd of July is the birth date of Haile Selassie, Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. They said he was descendant of Jesus, the physical Jesus. In a future video, we'll talk about that portion. That was on July 23rd. Most Leos look like lions, so you always see them. They have the mane, and even the women look like lioness. They love the color red. Leo is ruled by the sun. So then you see that relationship again. I'm gonna give you that relationship with Adam and Eve. You got the moon. The moon is the mother. The sun is the father. You got the mother and the father. You got Venus. You got Mars. You got Venus. You got the moon. You got the sun. Then you get to. When you get to Virgo, but before we get to Virgo, we still got to speak on this connection between between Cancer and Leo. When you ever heard the story of like Jack and Jill? That Jack and Jill went up the hill, and they fell down. Then Jack fell down and broke his crown. Obviously, when the sun gets to 90 degrees, that's when it's at Cancer. That means the father sits upon his throne. The sun begins to fall. Yes, Humpty Dumpty sat up on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So, a lot of our nursery rhymes that we thought about, they're really all about the sun. So basically, you at 90 degrees, and then you start to fall. The word lethal comes from the word Leo, because the sun become really lethal. And the reason why it gets really lethal is that Sirius starts to dog our sun. meaning the term dog means to follow. The Sirius starts to follow our sun, and that's why you have a lot of rituals that occur during the end of July all the way into August, September. Sirius gets behind our sun. Right now, when we got into Cancer, Sirius, we just met Sirius, and we're about to pass Sirius to go in front of Sirius. So Sirius starts to come after us. And we get to Virgo, which is your intestines. The Virgin, and basically in the air, is in the sense of the reason why it represents the intestines is because it's a purifier. So every time you eat your food and it goes through your intestines, I just had the energy to do this right now, so that's why I'm outside and there's a lot of things just going on. But hopefully y'all can still hear me. But it's the energy that stomach acid, that you're able to put that food when we eat it. That's that connection between earth and earth again. So we eat the food based off of Taurus, gets to your stomach, and your stomach basically tells the food where to go. Hey, you should go here, you should go there. This is the waist. And that's ruled by the intestines, which is ruled by the Virgo. Then you get to your waist, which is the Libra. And the Libra is the scales, and that's also Venus. And when you go to court, and this is also then again related to a lot of the things that are going on in our time. When you go to court, you always see Venus inside the court with her eyes blindfolded, with the scale in her hand, speaking about blind justice or, fairness. Venus is about fairness. And that's why the Libra rule represents our waist, or the cutoff part that's man and an animal. And when I'm saying animals, it's because we're kind of a hybrid type of being. And that's the animalistic part about it. Our higher self is there's no animalistic part about our higher self, our spiritual self. But our physical self, that's the animal part that, that makes us want physical things, that makes us crave material things, that wants to have a nice ass house, that wants to, to want to be the biggest man on the block, or you want to, be the finest woman. It's, you want to have the nicest car. That's the physical, the desires. That's why it's at the bottom, that's where you even get to your reproductive organs. That's where you get Scorpio. Scorpio, if you look at Scorpio, it looks like it has the 2 claws and it has a stinger. I mean, it's a representation, if you could say it's it could be the testes and it could be the phallus, or it can be the canal and the ovaries. It's basically the same thing, our reproductive organs. The Lord has put the whole zodiac in our body. Then you get to your thighs, which is ruled by the Sagittarius, and that's why you see the Sagittarian being a half. You see the human at the man at the top and the animal at the bottom. It's in the same reference to what I'm saying about the upper half being the heavenly, ancient, like good. It's polarities. It's like the top part of you is supposed to see and understand and know the spiritual nature, and then we have our physical side, which is that animal that wants to take over, which wants to destroy and be destructive. The thighs, also the Sagittarius rules the third eye, or the higher element. That's why it's in a fight with Scorpio. They're in a fight, and and in between them it's the Milky Way, and you always see that it's like the handoff time of year, because it's a lot of that battle, because before Pluto, was a planet. Um, it it's ruled by Mars. So Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So it's basically like fire, water, and because there's always has to be a balance. So the zodiac is a mirror. Um, so when you have Libra, Libra is Venus, and then you have Scorpio, and Scorpio is Mars. So you have Venus and Mars. So it's a flip of what had happened with Aries and Taurus. So instead of it starting with fire and air and earth, it started with air and water, because those are the two same elements. Because fire is masculine, is the masculine energy that's related to earth. Earth is the feminine energy, and they're the ones that are polarities. Just like air is the masculine version of water. Water is the feminine version of air. So fire is the masculine version of earth, and earth is the feminine version of fire. Solid and spiritual, because the sun, our sun, which gives us heat, is not a solid thing, it's a gas. So there goes to my reference again, but I'm not getting off track, but I'm gonna get back to the knees, which is the Capricorn, the kneecap. Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn or Satan. Saturn is at war with the ruler of Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, always, because Jupiter killed his father, which is Saturn, which is Kronos. But Saturn is also the Grim Reaper. Saturn is where we start to fall from grace from. You fall from Saturn, you fall all the way down to the moon. The moon is your mother, which, when I said earlier about the Cancer being the mother and Capricorn being the father, but and when you look at it, if you look at a ankh, you'll see the bottom portion of the ankh. And I usually, because I don't have my ankh with me, but the bottom portion of the ankh is the representation of the man, and he's entering the woman, and that's the top portion of that, which is the top, which is Cancer. So you see the father, I'm falling from grace. Let's be real. I'm ejaculating into you. So we're falling from grace. And then the mother who carries you, you see the ankh. If you really look at the ankh and you pay more attention to it, it's like, if you put it to the side, it could be a pregnant woman, or it's the portal, it's the vortex, the gates that we come through. So, we always have to respect the woman, respect the mothers, the ones that can create and bring forth life. You know it. Then we're gonna get to the legs, the shin that connects. The shin is the Aquarius, which is if you look at it, so it has to be a knower, because it's like the bone. You ever notice that the bone of your shin is not covered? All the muscle is on the outside of the bone. So as a natural person and with understanding, you have to really sit there and look at it like, how many times we've all probably hit our shin and messed that motherfucker up. It's the knower. It's the one that helps the feet go. It's like the feet knows where they're going, but the shin is one. It's holding the whole structure up. It knows what to do. It's also ruled by Saturn, and in modern days is ruled by Uranus. But the only planets, or the only stars that matter, are the 7 visible. So we can speak about the newer planets like Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, but if you look at their original signs, which is still ruled by Saturn, and Saturn ruling air. So you got so you got to look at the two relationships again. Saturn, which is in between, this is the twin. So Saturn has became twins with the moon, meaning that this is the mirror that I'm talking about in the zodiac. So Saturn is straight adjacent 180 degrees from the moon. Then you got Leo, which is his sun. It's 180 degrees from Aquarius. So you see in the tense of those relationships, because the sun, that's Jesus. Saturn is Satan. You see that there's that war. And you see Saturn with the moon. Then we get to your feet, which are the true twins. Because remember, the Geminis are not the true twin. They're just the twin brains, the left and right. Your feet, or the true twins, was the Pisces, which is one goes one way, one goes the other way. The Pisces is ruled by Jupiter again. So Jupiter has a sun. Jupiter's sun is the messenger. Jupiter's sun is Mercury. If you look at the first 6 signs, Mercury rules Gemini and it rules Virgo. See, Virgo ends the first 6 children, and Libra being the 7th child, which is the 7 colors of the rainbow. Those are the first 7. Even though Libra begins the bottom half of the chart, is also still has light. Libra is the sunset. That's who you see as red. But then you have Jupiter. You see Jupiter is a representation is ruling Pisces. Pisces is the twin of Virgo. See, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Remember, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. But who is the twin of Gemini? Sagittarius, which is Jupiter. So the whole zodiac is a mirror, but the mirror has different sides, polarities. So you got Mars, Venus, Mercury. The moon, the sun, Mercury. That's the first 6. Then you have Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter. But the reason why I'm telling you this is so you can learn and understand that even if you know this already, it's just a refresher, that we all know these things and we weren't taught them in the ways that we should be taught them. Like every day of the week is being named after a planet. Like today's Sunday. Today's named after the sun. And you can understand if you were like a Leo, you're gonna feel good today because today is ruled by your ruling sign, the sun. Tomorrow's moon day is ruled by the moon, and only one sign is ruled by the moon only rules one sign, that's Cancer. So you see again, Domingo, Lunes, the sun, the moon. Then we get to Mars, which is Tuesday. That is a good day for Aries and Scorpios. Then we get to Wednesday. Wednesday is a good day for Geminis and Virgos. Communication day. Good day to communicate. Good day to tell somebody something. Good day to get something off your chest. Tuesday is a good day for action. Monday, let me start again. Sunday, Leo. It's a good day to put something out there. It's like planting the seed, like, leading the way. Like today, we're going to take leadership and do something. We're going to put something into work, put something into play. On Monday, we're going to see how the idea that we thought about on Sunday, how we're going to deliberate it. So that's what the Father does. The Father goes out there, like the Son, the Father goes out there and he gets the like you say, the money. He gets the things that he needs for the house. And he comes back and he brings it to his wife. And she deliberates it. She gives it to the children or whoever deserves it. So that's what you know. The man goes out there, makes something, and he gives it to the woman and see her make more of it. And that's what the mother does. The mother makes more. The woman makes more. The man is masculine, so we destroy. Not in the sense of being in destruction, meaning like negative, or actually in the sense of masculinity is positive. But feminine energy is negative, but it's a lot. But all these things that are going on in our present time relates to the zodiac, and I just wanted to share that information with y'all today because it's important that we know it, because they're using these things against us and they're telling us that it's evil. Our pastors, our imams, our rabbis, they all have to know this. The people that you know that's in fraternities and sororities, the ones that are deep in it, they know these things. Go get you a farmer's almanac. Go find out the time you were born. These things are not, it's not witchcraft, it's not wizardry. It's not new age. It's only new age because it's new to us. They're telling us it's new to us because we're not aware of these things. And I'm only sharing these things because you guys are aware of it. And once you find out who you really are and you're able to disperse that great energy, man, how you look at life will just become more like profound and more loving, compassionateness, gratitude, being grateful, being fortunate, being prosperous. And I'm going to start sharing more videos with people because I've been talking about this thing for a long time, and now it's about that time, and I feel good, and I want everyone else to feel good too. So tell me how y'all feel about this, and tell me what you want to know about, so I can give you a little bit more details, a little bit different books, and like lead me to other great people that are trying to, come in this movement and this wave, and they're trying to see the best out of other people and trying to show unconditional love like the Lord is doing. The reason why we've been taken advantage of for so many years with all these centuries is because of we've been really bad to the Lord. We've been selfish. We've been thoughtless. We've only been thinking about ourselves, and it's not fair because now it's like me thinking I have all this knowledge and I'm not sharing it with people. It's really selfish. I don't really care what anyone says or feels because I know what I'm trying to do is to make others aware and uplift them positively, even if it comes across that it's going to make you feel a certain type of way. But you can't grow unless if you're not uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, you're going to sit in place and you're going to sink. So I'm trying to find more warriors because we got work to do, and I hope this come across really good, man, because it's been years that I have been studying, and it's not that it's because of the time we're in now, but it is because of the time we're in now, and the spirits are telling me to take advantage of this, so I am. And yeah, so understand the zodiac, know the Mazzaroth, know your body, know the time we're in, know that you're an amazing individual and you can't let anyone take advantage of you. Never let anyone take liberty of you. Don't let no one take your kindness for weakness. Always walk with your head high. And if someone says something that you don't like, just smile. And understand and always know that's just the devil trying to test you, but the Lord always has better for you. You know it? So one love, bless up. It's your boy Oracle O, out.